viewers, and welcome once again to another edition of our literary program. Well, today we are very delighted because we are in a very beautiful, cozy, neat and tidy house of none other than Champa Shen Choudhury. Well, Champa Shen Choudhury is a Shillongite by birth. She has educated herself here in this place, and then she also taught in some of the colleges here in Shillong. Of course, she is from economics background, yes, the subject economics background, but then she shifted to literature and she started writing. So, we are here to understand her writing skills, what made her shift from economics background to literature, her love, and she on and off visits Shillong. She now lives in Calcutta, and we are very delighted and fortunate in one of her visits now that we could catch with her up here in her home, and that we are going to have this conversation with her. She has so much of experience to narrate, to tell us, and I'm sure that you would love to be a part of this program. So here I go then to bring her on camera for you, and Madam Champa Shen Choudhury, a very, very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for your time, for giving us this opportunity to be able to come to your home and to speak to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Ma'am, you were born here, you were brought up here, you got yourself schooled as well as colleged in this place. Tell us, from then on, how was your early life like? Let us go to the memory lane now. So relive some of the moments that you have lived in your early life, maybe your school days with us.
Life during our childhood was much of a fun, and it was absolutely free of all kind of shows and materialism. And I studied in this school particularly because my mother, my aunts, from my father's side, my aunt, my cousins, all studied in this school,
right.
Tailored Girls' School, which happened to be a very important and very well-known school right then. Actually, in our school, we got an exposure to to the girls of various levels from the society, and many children of the ministers and high government officials used to come to this school.
Right.
In fact, one of my classmates was actually Lokopriya Gopinath Bodoloi's granddaughter. And another friend of ours was a daughter of a minister, Harsha Das. So that kind of, then in our school, from many girls used to, particularly the children of high government officials, used to be transferred here and
right.
come to our school.
Right.
So they used to bring new games to our school. Like Minister Rupnath Brahmo's daughters came from Delhi, and they introduced hula hoop that we didn't know about before. And they were excellent sportswomen, and they used to throw javelin marvelously. So javelin throw was another game I hardly see nowadays, but our school had it.
Okay. Yes.
And we had, as I said, we had girls from many backgrounds, and we had Assamese girls, Bengali girls, Khasi girls, all of whom used to speak Bengali nicely, though we had two sections, Assamese and Bengali.
Right, right. I mean, these are memories that you still remember so fondly and you still cherish them. But then, having said so, were you always a quiet girl, maybe a front bencher, and or were you actually a little bit tomboyish and did some naughty acts certain times?
I was very quiet, very deceptive, and beloved, one of the beloveds of my teachers, but all that was outside. And within, behind the teachers or behind the society as such. I was quite a tomboy.
Okay.
So
Any tomboyish, experience you would like to share?
As a child, we had many tricks. The water tap in our school, which we used to drink water from, we weren't that conscious of hygiene, and drinking water from the tap was a fun because at home we had to take boiled water filtered. So we used to take a leave from classes, particularly from Sanskrit classes. I used to take leave as soon as the teacher would take the readings and the meanings of the sentence. I would tell the teacher that, Madam, we will go and get a stone for you to sit, where we used to have outside classes. Okay. We used to ask the teachers to take, we had a beautiful lawn in that school. Okay. So I would go searching for a stone for the teacher. How will you sit like us? So till the end of the class, we would search for the stone, come back, calculate which line I may be asked to read, and prepare that. Okay. So I was a good girl, able to read Sanskrit fluently. Right. And then our house was very near school, and we were always clad in raincoats and gumboots, So we would go out in those and immediately take out the shoes from our legs and feet, and we would walk barefoot to enjoy the rainwater in the puddles on the
Jump
road.
in the puddles sometimes, yeah.
And as soon as we would enter the school, I was one of the spokespersons pushed front, and so I would go to the tap immediately, take out the raincoat and get myself wet under the tap. Because I have to go and appeal, I was very logical, but I have to go and appeal to the principal for a rainy day. So if I am dry, then the girls won't get a rainy day. So I would wet myself under the tap. Okay. So these were the kind of naughtiness we did in childhood. Right. But when I was about 15 years old, we had done something which was
punishable.
Ultimately we won. We weren't punished.
Okay.
There were attempts to punish. We organized a bandh, a strike in that government school.
Oh my, okay. What was that all about?
We didn't understand the depth of the trouble when in 1960 the Bengal Khada movement in Assam started. And we were all children. So some Assamese people heard it around the discussions. So one girl in Assamese wrote something about the Bengalis, something about the teachers, not about the teachers really, about the Bengalis, but that time the blackboards used to be extensively under the control of the teachers. The girls were not supposed to handle. So she wrote it on the board. We knew who it was from handwriting because I was the editor of the first ever published magazine in our school, Trilingual magazine. And I was the editor of that. So we tested the handwritings of the girls and it was a handwritten magazine, a fat handwritten magazine. So we knew who wrote, and somehow from within, I felt that this must be objected. I felt very sad because I had many Khasi friends with whom I still have connection, and many Assamese friends with whom I still have regular connection. So I felt very sad that this division should come in school. And we went to the authority, to the headmistress, to ask her to come and see and just announce in the assembly that there should be no division between the students. Right. There should be only one division in school. One group is teachers whom we will love and respect, and one group students who the teachers do love.
Okay.
No step was taken. Now I understand many nitty-gritties that I didn't understand at the age of 15.
Right.
So it went to the police. Police came with a wireless van. 144 was announced in the area.
Okay.
So the girls, but no girls entered school. Of no girls of our class. Khasi, Assamese, Bengali, no girls entered. So all of then the 144 was announced. We all knew what is the meaning of 144. At least I knew, another of my friend knew. So we told the girls that you go home. Because they never used to come with the guardians. They used to come all by themselves. So all of them listened to us, went back, and we kept around 35 or 45 girls there, but scattered in groups of 5. And then we went to the DPI. And it was raining cats and dogs. So we divided ourselves into group of 4s. So 4 girls in front with a gap, 4 more girls. So we made groups and reached the DPI office. So it's a long story. It carried on. Ultimately, the DDPI, whose daughter was a very good friend of mine, and she was 1 year senior, she was very more of a friend with me because she was very good in English.
Okay.
And that was one of my most favorite subjects. So he tried to tell me that I know your father, I know your uncles, I know your... And then I said, at the moment, my only introduction is I am a student of Government Girls'
Why
School.
was it declared a Bandh finally?
The Bandh was because no step was taken. Nothing was done. And all we wanted was very innocent. We wanted to get the unity in school.
I understand that, these are some of the childhood innocence that we had in our times because we were so nature friendly more. But the times have certainly changed. Today children are more into technology, as you said, technologically savvy they are. And they're more withdrawn, inclined towards themselves. Is it a good thing that what your experience
I don't
tells
think
you?
so, because I savor the kind of experiences we had. We mixed up with girls. I can read, write and speak Assamese. And many Assamese people have mistaken me for an Assamese person.
Right.
Khasi I couldn't learn because whenever I tried to learn, my friends used to laugh at me. Khasi friends.
Okay.
Oh, you were talking Khasi. So one of my friends once told her husband in front of me, Pinda Bam. I said, oh, was he taking lunch? He was serving him lunch. She laughed away and said, hey, you know Khasi. So they never were interested to teach me Khasi, though I know some words and can manage to bargain a bit. So this kind of experiences, and we knew many of their homes, so their culture.
So there was a more, person-to-person contact, people-to-people contact, and shared experiences, which is so much missing these days, because a child, right from, when one is small, is given a mobile phone, so withdrawn, so inclined. However, as you said, you're concerned towards it, and the times that you led and the times of today certainly are different. But then having said so, ma'am, coming back to you again, you took up finally, you graduated in economics and you even taught economics in Shillong College and Shillong Commerce College as well. But how did this transition happen that you moved away from economics, which is a very mathematical, statistics-based subject, to writing and to literature?
Actually, I didn't move away. I loved English very much. That's English and practically literature, even Bengali. Because my family was, most of my members of my family, they were interested in literature, they were interested in music. So that automatically probably came to me. Moreover, my first teacher was nature. So I enjoyed long drive, going through the hills, going through the roads of Cherrapunji. I used to feel that like these hills, each of these hills, each of the trees were talking to me. So I had no other way but communicate with all that.
Absolutely, and that is what you did, because you have later on, you went on to write children's books, especially what kind of children's books you wrote?
I didn't really write children's books, though I had intention one time. But I wrote books for children's education.
Okay.
One was I wrote in a magazine called Parents and Pedagogue. There I said that education, as should be a light on the path of our life, has turned out to be those rice bulbs, decorative rice bulbs on the way of our road. They don't show us the road, but they decorate it. So that has been a problem that I felt long time. And the pictures given in the children's book, letters, there was one time when children's books used to be very small in size, so were the letters.
Okay.
So my question was, why give these books to the children? The children, you have to make them interested in reading. So the letters must be befitting, bold, and fun to read. And the pictures that used to be, by the time I wrote this, which was taken to the publishers' conference in Delhi by one of the very renowned publisher and a renowned man of Calcutta in Children's Welfare Department. My point is, that time the pictures that was there in the children's book, including the Amar Chitra Katha, the colors were hideous, black and orange and bright colors, and then colors were coming for children, those fluorescent colors. So my point was, the colors used for children's book must be soft, sensitive, more close to nature, so that it doesn't hurt their nerves and their taste is built. So that kind of writings I have written in many
and you've
places.
also brought out travelogues. So while you were writing travelogues, which are some of the places that finds mention or your experiences in those kinds of travel experiences that you've put it down into words?
As you said, that I, being a student of economics, why I shifted to literature. And I told you that I haven't shifted. Economics also is very much with me. So when I travel to a place, I don't like just seeing it. For me, it's not seeing the place. For me, it's to feel the ethos of the place and feel the economic conditions, the backgrounds of the place, the people of the place. So I like staying in a place for some time, that at least I can touch some of it. I mean,
that is what travel should be, actually. Nowadays people just travel to take some selfies and some pictures, and they don't even experience, right? And then to put it into social media, probably. But those are real travels that you and many others keep doing, I guess, to experience the life and the culture of the place that they visit. Ma'am, you have also written bilingually, both in English as well as in Bengali as well, right? You have done that.
Yes.
Yes. You have done that. But then when you do that, do you think that, sometimes the essence is taken away, the flavor, the taste will not come exactly the way it should be in a translated or in a language that is not close to your heart?
I feel not always, because unless we got some translated books, we wouldn't have known Mopassa. We wouldn't have known, say, the Persian writers. So translation, to an extent, is necessary.
Right.
But it depends on who is translating. When it comes to just professional translation, I am averse to it. And that is one reason why I couldn't get my book on Shillong, which is so favorite to me, translated in English or Khasi.
Okay.
In fact, some of my Assamese friends told me that you should have got it translated in Assamese also. But the feeling I have for Shillong, I don't think, I haven't found anybody who will translate with that subtle feeling.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
very important to.
Because the writer knows exactly what the feeling, the emotion. Your translator will not have the same feeling.
The sensitivity
right?
must tally.
Yeah, can
if
go
the
missing.
sensitivity doesn't tally, I would be a bit doubtful.
Yeah, I understand that. So Shillong finds a reflection in your works again and again. You're a nature lover too.
More than in my writing, yes, I have a book written on Shillong, which delves down right from the history of Shillong. But my students in Calcutta, who have been my very favorite students, they know a lot about Shillong from me.
Okay.
So whenever they see me or whenever they talk to me, or now that they are grown up and they visit Shillong, they say, Miss, it seemed to be so known to us, Miss, your Shillong. So that way probably I have transmitted my interest in Shillong.
Yeah. So since we are talking about your interest, why don't you read for us? You're holding a book, as I can see. Why don't you read something for us and then tell us what exactly is that? Because I think you're going to read something in Bengali.
Yes, this book is written in Bengali.
Yeah.
The love I developed from my college life.
Okay.
I was never interested in Bengali at school. This book is about 5 countries, I think, that I have traveled. But after traveling the 5 countries and seeing them, I came back to Shillong, came back to Meghalaya through, of course, Arunachal Pradesh. And so let me read a small part from my write-up on Arunachal Pradesh, particularly Tawang, because Tawang has again very checkered past. And during the Chinese aggression of 1962, when we just entered college, that left a bit of impact on us.
Yes.
So seeing Tawang was very adventurous at the same time, much sought for an experience for me. So I'd like to read a bit about Tawang.
Yes.
Tawang, we all know, is the place of the Monpas. Now, who are the Monpas?
Okay.
Mon, I'm reading it in Bengali, Mon orthe nimnoborti desh ebong pa orthe odhibashi. Means Mon, the word Mon, 2 words makes the word Monpa, Mon and Pa. The word Mon means a lower area and Pa means the dwellers of that area.
Okay.
So তিব্বতীয় মন বা মনিউল শব্দটি এককালে ব্যবহৃত হতো তিব্বতের দক্ষিণে অবস্থিত বিশাল একটি প্রতিবেশী এলাকাকে অন্তর্ভুক্ত করে মানে লোয়ার ল্যান্ড ফর আস তাওয়াং ইজ আ হাইল্যান্ড বাট কম্পেয়ার্ড টু টিবেটান হিলস it's a lower part of the Tibetan hills. So they were Monpa. So how are the people of Monpa? What is their nature? Now, R.S. Stein, in his book on Tibetan civilization, writes about the Monpas, the south, whose inhabitants had not thus far been organized into states, was lumped together under the name Mon. It appears that it is a blanket term used by the Tibetans to designate certain neighboring regions lying to their nature. These Monpas are very gentle by nature, and their looks are a bit different. That was one reason where I studied and also talked to people that the Chinese people had mixed up with the society of that area, so they could spy about the area and know the details.
Okay, okay.
So
quickly just read for us 2-3 lines, ma'am.
okay.
Yeah.
There are many tribes in that area. Monpas are, because they belong to a big area near Tawang, the main, তাদের মধ্যে, let me read it out from my book, তাদের মধ্যে তাওয়াং মনপারাই সংখ্যাগরিষ্ঠ. That means they are the largest number. আকৃতিতে সাধারণত তারা মধ্যম আকৃতি. They are not very tall, not very short also, medium structure. অত্যল্প তাদের গোঁফ দাড়ি, very little beard, mustache.
Yeah.
Dr. Verrier Elwin, the anthropologist, renowned anthropologist in fact, he described the Monpas, the nature of the Monpas, as gentle, friendly, courteous, industrious, good to animals, good to children. You see in the Monpas the influence of the compassionate Lord Buddha on the ordinary man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that goes without saying. I think much of our Northeast, the people are genteel, simple-minded, close to nature, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can see another book here, and you have told me that the front page of it, I mean, the cover page of it is actually your drawing. Can we see it? What is it all about?
Yes, the cover page of this book is my drawing. And this book actually was in the shape of I never thought of writing this book. These many people like art connoisseur and an ICS in fact. He was the census commissioner of India, but an art connoisseur. He wrote to me a letter after seeing this book saying that your haikus were beautiful and very touching.
Okay.
And also one governor of Bengal, I'm forgetting his name, very well-known governor and very well-versed. He also looked at this book and said, "Oh my, you have written haikus."
Okay, so
Technically, they are not haikus,
okay,
but they are short poems. And they came as I could never do one thing at a time. So when I was in school, and invigilation was a very big factor because that school was very big, and I was told that I can't knit while invigilating, in spite of telling the principal that I can knit without looking at the knitting. But she said, but rule is a general rule, so you better not. Yeah. Then it reminded me of a song. Amar hat bandhibi, pao bandhibi, mon bandhibi kemone. Means you can tie my hands, you can tie my feet. How do you tie my mind? My thoughts.
So this is
without, when I used to invigilate, I used to compose short poems and write it on my palm. And as I would come back home, I would write them in pieces of papers.
Okay, so this is a reflection of that?
Why
don't you just read it quickly for us?
Album with it. And I wanted to express the same emotion in 3 mediums. Actually, I wanted it in 2 mediums, photograph and poems. At times I took a photograph and my poem came in my mind. At times I wrote a poem and then I thought of
picturized
it. So I made an album. So many people saw that album and came and told my father that she has made a beautiful album. Making albums was one of my hobbies.
Can we hear you read
So,
one of them, ma'am, from here?
I did it, and then the printer told me to fill in some spaces with something. Okay. So these were my line drawings, keeping up
and these
to
are some of your photographs as well?
Photographs are all mine.
Oh, wow.
And then I started writing at times in English, at times in Bengali, whatever came in my mind.
Okay.
As I had cosmopolitan friends, the Bengali friends said your Bengali poems are excellent, but my non-Bengali friends, mostly South Indian that time, they would say, Champa, how do we write? How do we read? Why didn't you translate it? So I got translated it. And so with the English poems, my Bengali friends wanted translation.
Right. Yes.
So this is how this came.
Okay.
I saw a tree, huge tree in our school, which was rotting. So from inside the hole that it was created, new life was coming out. Okay. And it touched me a lot. I took a photograph. Then I wrote a poem, Praner Pradip Jaliye Rekho, Jagiye Bhalobasha, Ruper Kajol Chokhe, Tomar Bilio Shabe Asha. So I had to translate it for my non-Bengali friends. So the translation went like, keep burning the lamp of soul by the fuel of love. Infuse hope in every life by the light of your eye.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I mean, you're multi-talented. The fact that...
to do that, actually, I draw this picture, this line drawing of, again, amidst lots of hurdles, the flowers still bloom. And the cactus flower had inspired me for that.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
To go with
the fact that you, ma'am, that you are multi-talented, you have so many hobbies, and I think, we could go on and on in this conversation, but time is our constraint. I know you have so many stories to share, and 30 minutes isn't enough for this. But then we need to wind up this program for today, for this moment and for this time. And we would like to end it with another of your talent, a hidden talent, which today will come out probably to all of our viewers today, and that is playing the mouth organ. Why don't you do it for us as we take leave from you and from this conversation? And as I wrap up this, this conversation, I can only say that you're a beautiful person. I mean, your experiences should actually be penned down into a book form and for all of us to enjoy. Keep writing more, keep enjoying life and the scenery of Shillong and through all of your travels in other places as well. Thank you very much for your time that you have given us, and I'm sure that all of our viewers have enjoyed this bit of the conversation that we had with Shampa Shen Choudhury as she narrated and took us down memory lane. And as I said, she has so much more to say, but then there's always a next time. We would like to end this conversation by her playing an instrumental music, and as we take leave, once again, a big thank you to you, ma'am, and to all of our viewers there as well. So kindly play for us any tune, any of your favorite tunes.
Thank you all for coming to my place and talking to me, sparing your time, your valuable time. Thank you so much.